Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to our Minnesota Twins discussion video. And in this one, well, today's a good video. I really like this video. It's going to be going in depth, basically. So y'all know we got Marwin Gonzalez. We signed him 2 days ago, I believe. At the recording of this video, it's been 2 days. And now we signed him, we brought him in. We're going to have to get rid of somebody. So at the recording of this video, he is officially signed, but he has not gone to the Twins yet. He's not started with the Twins in spring training yet. So if this is all messed up, I apologize. I'm recording this video before I know the answers. But this is my take on it, why this should happen. So like I said, we signed Marwin Gonzalez 2 days ago. It's been official now. And, you know, we've talked about that in depth in that other signing video a couple days ago when he officially signed. So we're going to quickly go over his stats, and then I will give you basically my take on which of the three players I believe is going to get the boot. So here we go. All right, so Marwin Gonzalez, he's a great player. He can play anywhere. We've covered that. He has had a fantastic couple of years in Houston, won a World Series with them back 2 years ago against the Dodgers, and he has played fantastic in all of his, well, particularly the last 5 seasons. So, like again, in his 7 seasons in Houston, he played 800 games, had 2,500 at-bats, 303 runs, 650 hits, 139 doubles, 8 triples, 76 home runs, 300 RBIs, stolen bases don't really matter, 179 walks, 541 strikeouts. He batted .264, OBP of .318, a slugging percentage of .419, an OPS of .737, and that's about all the main stats. So that's pretty good. I'm not, like I said in the other video, he's not a Mike Trout player. Nobody ever claimed him to be a Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts kind of player. He's not the top guy, even on the Astros. Obviously, you've got Correa, Bregman, Altuve, obviously. But you need a solid team to complete that. Obviously, those 3 players and their pitching staff is not going to be able to win them a World Series. They need players like Reddick, like Marwin Gonzalez, like Gurriel. Though the whole team works together and wins games. That's the same thing what's going to happen with the Twins. He's going to come in. We have so much talent everywhere. I've seen so many different news outlets cover where's he going to play, where's he going to play, what's he going to do, because we have a good team. We have a solid team pretty much everywhere around the infield and in the outfield. Honestly, our weakest spot right now is probably second base, just because I don't know exactly how Scope is going to work out. Otherwise, you know, third base, depending on Sano, if that doesn't work out. Those are probably our 2 weakest spots right now, but, you know, if Scope does really well or Sano gets healthy, we have a solid team, and I don't know where we're going to put this guy. A lot of you guys in the comments, though, were saying he's probably going to take first base. So let's talk about that. First base, I don't see it as a weak spot. I really like Tyler Austin, and we got CJ Cron. I think it's even better if we have Garver behind the plate, Astudillo at third, Sano at first. That's how I kind of want it to go. I really like that scenario, but I guess first base is a weak spot, but first base, third base, second base, those are, I mean, it's a good, they're all good, but they're probably the weakest spots on the team. So let's talk about Tyler Austin. Is he going to get shipped out? He is one of my candidates. So I think he was part of the Lance Lynn trade last year. I'm not 100% sure on that, I guess. But he obviously came over last year, and he did well. He didn't do great. He didn't do bad. I really like Tyler Austin. I think he has got a lot of potential. He's only 26, so he's not one of these old guys who, you know, we're trying to pick up for a season or two. Like, I guess, how old is Scope? I guess I didn't. Anyways, it doesn't matter. He's not Nelson Cruz, who's almost 40 years old. You know, he's a young guy. He's got potential, and he's getting into his prime years here. So, like, the next 2 years for him could be really good. But he is on the trading block here, because if we do put Gonzalez at first, we have CJ Cron. He is on my list as well, but I just don't see us getting rid of Cron because we brought him in this year. I don't see us getting rid of him. But let's go through Tyler Austin here. So in his 3 years, he had played in New York the first 2 years, 2.5 years, and then came over last season. He played in 35 games as a Twin, 18 runs, 29 hits in 123 at-bats, 9 home runs, 24 RBIs, batted .236, had 42 strikeouts, 11 walks, 300 OBP, 500 slugging, and a 782 OPS. Those, again, like I keep saying, are not bad numbers. They are pretty solid. I mean, for a power hitter in particular, I mean, he's better than Morrison. Like, that's, if we're comparing guys at first base in particular, this guy's better than Morrison because Morrison was absolutely awful. And I mean, if that's our approach at first base is we need a power hitter. Now that Mauer is gone and Morrison's gone, we need to replace it with some sort of power hitter. I like this guy. I think he'll get more home runs this year if we consistently play him. He only played in about half the games last year. He only played in half the games, or not even half the games. When he was a Yankee, he only played in 30 games and 20 games in the 2 seasons he was there, 34 in the 3rd season before he was traded. So, like, if we're giving this guy consistency, I think that he could be great. However, if we're planning on, really sticking with Cron or putting Gonzalez there, it doesn't make sense to keep Tyler Austin. Even though he could, give a spike, I don't know if he will. And that's a really good reason to trade him as well, because if he has this potential, teams are going to want that. And I think he's a decent power hitting first baseman. Ship him out. Get a good pitcher. We still could use, I think, one more pitcher, or maybe a couple of prospects. I don't know what we'd really get for Tyler Austin, but one, maybe 2 decent prospects from a subpar team. It would be an option. Now let's go to CJ Cron. I do think he is on the door to be getting let go, but he's probably the guy who's going to more likely stay than Tyler Austin. And that's because, like I said, he was brought in this year to be our first baseman, basically. So I think it would make the most sense to keep him. He just likes being in my videos. Okay, so let's go talk about CJ Cron really quickly. He played with the Angels, played with the Rays, and he hit 30 home runs last year. 30 home runs is a lot. I mean, that's good. I like that. That's great. If we can have him do that again, that makes me happy. But he played 140 games, 30 home runs, 74 RBIs, batted .250, OPS of 323, and 145 strikeouts. Again, it's kind of the same thing with Tyler Austin. He's a little bit better than Tyler Austin. But again, 28 years old, in his prime right now. This is a guy, if we want to stick with him, boom, plug him into first base. I'm okay with it. And, put Gonzalez somewhere else. However, this is a guy I'm kind of iffy about as well. Same reason as Morrison. I'm not exactly sure what it has to do with the AL East, but you look at the Rays, and Morrison was fantastic, sucked as a Twin. I feel like it could be the same thing. Odorizzi was a great Ray, sucked as a Twin. Is this the same thing? I don't know, but it scares me to bring another power-hitting first baseman from the Rays 2 years in a row and start him. That's just grinds my gears how we keep doing that. But, he does hit home runs. He's hit 16 in the previous 3 years and then 30 last year. If he hits 30 again, boom, sign him to an extension. Let's get on this train. But if he doesn't, a great guy who I think we could get more for than Tyler Austin if we want to ship him out, because I think Gonzalez is better than CJ Cron, and that's because he's not necessarily a power hitter. Like I said, Gonzalez hit what he hit home runs wise last year. He only hit 16, 23 before that. So, I mean, he's batting a couple home runs less than Cron, but Cron is a hit for power guy. Marwin Gonzalez is an overall better player in my opinion. He's not trying to just hit home runs, where CJ Cron is a power hitter. He's going to hit home runs. That's his job. So, if we want to ship him out, I think we'd get, more of a better return than Tyler Austin. But since we brought him in this year, probably not likely. And the last guy I want to talk about is Andre Anza. Ethier Andre Anza. I do think this guy is out the door. Again, by the time I'm recording this, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but this guy, it's been the talks of at least everybody down in the comments that this is the guy that's going to go, and I honestly agree with that. He is one of the oldest twins. He's 29, so, I mean, he's a year older, but he's one of the oldest twins on the team, besides a couple of the pitchers. I mean, he is the veteran guy. He's not even a bad player either. It's just he's not going to win us games, and that's the thing I want to talk about here. So, played 114 games last year, 70 before that, 265, 250, 300 OBP, 379 slugging. He only hit 6 home runs, 39 RBIs last year. He is a guy who we use on the bench, and last year we really struggled with injuries, and he got a lot of playing time, and those numbers just don't cut it. So, if we're going to have to trade one of our players, players, not like just a pitcher to throw him into the bench area or something. If we're going to trade a player, which it makes more sense to do that now that we've brought in another guy, we're going to ship out somebody who's actually playing, not a pitcher. It makes sense to get rid of Andre Anza here. I like him. I think he's a good player, but he's not a Manny Machado kind of player. I wouldn't even say he's like a Mauer player because, he's not going to win you games. He's not going to get you clutch hits. He's not going to hit a lot of home runs. He's a mid-tier guy. He's good, but he's just not that good, and it makes a lot of sense. Andre Anza played pretty much everywhere as well. Filled in at second base for Dozier when he was gone, as well as Forsythe once they got in a rhythm. He also played shortstop when Polanco was out for PEDs quite a lot. He played middle infield, and he moved over to third sometimes when Miguel Sano was hurt. So to swap the two players of Marwin Gonzalez and Andre Anza, it makes a lot of sense. You're basically just stepping up here, and even if he hits the same batting average, same games, same OBS, he's going to hit more home runs, and he's going to hit more doubles. It's just going to, it's a step up if we use Gonzalez in place of Andre Anza, and, I think that just makes the most sense. So, if Andre Anza gets shipped out, I don't know what we really get for him. Like I said, he's a good player, but he's not a great player. We might get a pitching prospect. I would be okay with that. I guess I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below what you think we could get for Andre Anza if we let him go, or if we want to trade him for just a minor league single A guy, or if just let him go and say sorry, see you later, and hope somebody else signs him. I don't know, but I want to know what you guys think. Kind of a long video today, I guess, but hey, that's great. We had a lot to talk about, so let me know if I missed anything down in the comments. Like I said, this is recorded before all this happened, so if something changes and I didn't really get it in the video, I apologize, but let me know down in the comments below. What do you think we're going to trade or just release in general, I guess, for Gonzalez? As well as what do you think we could get for some of these players if we decide to trade them. That's pretty much all I got for today. Let's have a great discussion down in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow for another one. Thanks for watching. Bye.